Have you ever walked into your home and felt like the walls were closing in just a little? Not because the space got smaller, but because life added up over time. Bit by bit, shelf by shelf, memory by memory. Maybe it's that drawer in the kitchen filled with things you haven't touched in years, or that hallway closet that somehow became a time capsule. The truth is, it's not just clutter that fills a home, it's the past. And sometimes, the past takes up more space than we realize. But what if letting go didn't have to feel like loss? What if it could feel like love? Like choosing to give yourself more room to breathe, to move, to live in the present, not in the shadow of yesterday. Today, we're not just talking about organizing. We're talking about reclaiming space, both in your home and in your heart. And you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to begin. So take a deep breath. Make yourself a warm cup of tea if you'd like. And let's start this journey together. Not to get rid of your life, but to make space for the life you're still living. Because you deserve a home that rises up to meet you, just as you are, right now. 1. The space. You didn't know you had. Most of us think we've run out of room, closets are full, drawers won't close, and there's not a single inch left under the bed. So we tell ourselves, maybe I just need more space. But here's something I've learned. It's not always about needing a bigger house. Sometimes it's just about seeing your space differently. Let me ask you this. When's the last time you looked up? Not at the ceiling, but at those empty walls above door frames, the space above your washer and dryer, the corners behind the bedroom door. These places are like quiet little gifts waiting to be noticed. You don't need a remodel. You don't need to buy expensive shelving systems. A few thoughtful touches can transform forgotten areas into useful, beautiful parts of your home. A narrow shelf above the bathroom door can hold extra towels. Hooks inside your closet door can carry scarves, handbags, or winter gloves. Even a magnetic strip on your kitchen wall can store spices or knives. These aren't just storage tricks. They're invitations to simplify, to make your home work for you, not the other way around. I once visited a woman named Courtney. She was a retired nurse living in a cozy New York apartment. She didn't have space for new cabinets, so instead she used floating shelves to store her spices and added a few under-cabinet hooks for her mugs. It didn't just clear up her countertops, it made her kitchen feel peaceful, like it finally made sense again. She told me, "It's the first time in years I've looked forward to cooking." You see, we're not just creating storage, we're creating flow, a space that feels lighter, a home that doesn't trip us up or slow us down. And as we get older, that kind of ease becomes more than just convenient. It becomes essential. So today, walk through your home with new eyes. Don't just look at what's cluttered. Look at what's unused. Look up. Look behind. Look underneath. The space is already there. You just have to let it help you. 2. Letting go without losing yourself. One of the hardest parts of decluttering isn't the physical work. It's the emotional weight. You pick up an old scarf and suddenly you're remembering the vacation you wore it on. You open a drawer and find a birthday card from someone who's no longer here. And just like that, you're not cleaning anymore. You're grieving. You're reminiscing. You're standing in 2 time zones, then and now, and you're not sure which one to let go of. So let me say this as gently as I can. Letting go of something doesn't mean you're letting go of the person, the memory, or the meaning it once held. You're not erasing anything. You're simply choosing to carry it in a different way. What if we started thinking about decluttering not as a loss, but as a kind of love? Love for your home, love for your peace of mind, love for the version of you that exists today, not just the woman you were 20 years ago. Elaine, a 68-year-old woman I met last year, shared something beautiful with me. Her kitchen was packed, cabinets overflowing with baking pans, gadgets, and serving trays from a time when her house was full of kids. But now, she lives alone. She told me, "I thought letting go of those things meant letting go of my role as a mother." But then she imagined moving into a little cottage by the sea, just for herself. She asked herself, would I take this with me? And just like that, the decision became clear. She cleared 2 full shelves and created a tea corner just for her morning quiet time. This isn't about throwing everything away. It's about asking, what still serves me now? What still brings joy? What helps me live more fully in this chapter of life? Your home is not a museum of everything you've ever done. It's a living, breathing space that should reflect the woman you are today. So when you pick up that scarf, that vase, that box of old letters, take a deep breath, honor what it meant, smile at the memory, and then ask yourself, do I need this in my hands or just in my heart? You get to decide what stays. And the most beautiful part? You're not making room for emptiness. You're making room for what's still ahead. 3. Keeping the memory, not the mess. Paper has a sneaky way of piling up. It starts small, an old receipt, a greeting card, a warranty you meant to file away, and then over the years, drawers fill up, binders multiply, entire shelves get taken over by paper we're not even sure we need, but feel too guilty to throw out. Why? Because some of it is tied to our identity. A letter from your husband, a handmade card from your child in 2nd grade, a yellowed newspaper clipping with your name in it. These aren't just pieces of paper, they're stories, proof that something mattered. So here's the gentle shift. What if you could keep the story, but lose the stack? Today's technology makes it easier than ever to digitize what's important. You don't need fancy equipment, just your smartphone and a simple app like Google Drive or Adobe Scan. Take a photo, save it in a folder, label it with the year or the memory. You can even back it up online so it's safe no matter what happens to the physical copy. This isn't just about decluttering, it's about protecting what matters. When you scan your medical records, your family documents, your favorite love letters, you're not discarding them. You're giving them a safer, more accessible home. John, a small business owner in his 70s, once showed me his home office, lined wall to wall with filing cabinets. He said, I never thought I'd see the floor again. But after a few weekends of scanning what he needed and tossing what he didn't, he cleared enough space to set up a little reading nook by the window. And that nook? He said it brought him more joy than all those papers ever had. Even sentimental things, like your grandchild's drawings or a birthday card from years ago, can be photographed and turned into a digital memory book. One woman I know even made a slideshow of her favorite family recipes, narrated in her own voice, and shared it with her kids and grandkids. She didn't just clean out a drawer, she created a legacy. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by paper, pause and ask, do I need this on a shelf, or would a photo serve me just as well? You don't have to keep every paper to keep the meaning. Let your memories live where they can breathe. Less clutter doesn't mean fewer memories. It means more space to live new ones. 4. Where peace begins. The first 5 steps inside. Think about this for a moment. What's the first thing you see when you walk into your home? For many of us, it's a pile of shoes, a stack of mail, maybe a purse tossed on a chair, or a jacket slumped over a doorknob. It's the landing zone for everything life throws at us. But what if that first step into your home could feel different? What if it could feel like a deep exhale after a long day? Your entryway, whether it's a grand foyer or just a corner by the door, is one of the most powerful spaces in your entire home. It sets the tone. It whispers, you're home now, you're safe. You can let go. And the good news? You don't need to renovate anything to make that happen. Start small. A bench with a few baskets underneath can instantly bring order to scattered shoes. Wall hooks can hold your coat, hat, and bag so they don't end up on every surface. A little dish or tray near the door can keep your keys, sunglasses, or even your hearing aids right where you need them. These simple touches aren't just practical. They create a sense of calm and structure. Lena, a 70-year-old grandmother I spoke with, used to trip over sneakers and backpacks every time her grandkids visited. She finally added a bench with labeled cubbies for each child and hung up a row of hooks. Now, she told me, it feels like my house is saying, welcome back, not just to them, but to me. That stuck with me because the entryway isn't just a physical space, it's emotional. It marks the transition between the outside world and your private one. And as we get older, having that buffer matters. It helps you feel more in control, more grounded, more at ease. So take a look at your front door area. Ask yourself, is this space serving me or stressing me? Could one small change bring a sense of welcome and warmth? You deserve to come home to peace. And sometimes that peace starts with just a hook, a basket, and the intention to make your home love you back. 5. The gentle rule that keeps the clutter away. You've probably heard the saying, less is more. But how do we actually stay that way, especially when new things keep entering our homes? A gift from a friend, a cute top on sale, another reusable bag from the grocery store. Here's a simple, beautiful habit that has helped so many women I know maintain a sense of balance in their homes, year after year. I call it the one in, one out rule, and it's just what it sounds like. For every new item that comes into your home, a sweater, a pair of shoes, a mixing bowl, you choose one item to let go of. Not because you have to, but because it creates space for what's new. And more importantly, it keeps your home from quietly filling back up. Jake, a 61-year-old grandfather from Ohio, loved sneakers. He bought a new pair nearly every month, until one day he realized his closet was overflowing. So he made a deal with himself. For every pair he brought home, he would donate one he no longer wore. The result? His closet stayed organized, and he actually began choosing more carefully. He started buying things he truly loved, not just things that were on sale. And this doesn't just work for clothes. You bring in a new kitchen tool, let go of the one gathering dust in the back of a drawer. A new towel set? Out goes the old frayed set. A new book? Maybe it's time to pass along one that didn't quite capture your heart. The beauty of this habit is in its simplicity. You're not making big decisions all at once. You're just keeping a gentle rhythm, like breathing in and breathing out. 1 inch, 1 out. Slowly, your home begins to reflect more intention and less accumulation. And let's be honest, we're at a stage in life where peace matters more than piles, where quality matters more than quantity. This small rule is a way of honoring that. So the next time you bring something new into your home, pause. Ask yourself, what can I let go of to make space for this? You'll be surprised how freeing that one question can be. 6. Small steps, big change. Why 10 minutes is enough. When we think about decluttering, most of us imagine a massive weekend project. Boxes everywhere, piles on the floor, hours of decision fatigue. And just the thought of that can make you want to close the closet door and walk away. But here's something I've learned, and maybe it will speak to you too. Lasting change doesn't come from big bursts. It comes from small, steady steps. That's why I always recommend this. Start with just 10 minutes a day, 10 quiet, focused minutes. Maybe after your morning coffee or right before you unwind for the night. Pick one drawer, one shelf, one basket. You don't have to finish it, you just have to start. And over time, those little starts begin to build momentum. Emma, a 66-year-old grandmother from Minnesota, used to dread cleaning. She told me it always felt like a mountain she didn't have the energy to climb. So she tried something different. Every Sunday afternoon, she set a timer for 15 minutes, no more, no less, and chose one small space to work on. A bathroom drawer, the pantry door, the catch-all drawer everyone has in the kitchen. She didn't aim for perfection. She just aimed for progress. And little by little, her home began to shift. But more importantly, her mindset shifted. She said, I stopped trying to conquer the whole house and I started tending to it, like a garden. That image has stayed with me. Decluttering doesn't need to be a grand event. It can be a rhythm, a routine, just like watering plants or folding laundry. You don't even need to finish what you start. You just need to show up with kindness and consistency. So today, try this. Set a gentle timer. Choose a small space. One drawer, one corner, One box. Don't aim for transformation. Just aim for ease. You'll be amazed what 10 minutes can do, not just for your home, but for your peace of mind. 7. The hidden beauty in what you already have. We often think we need to buy more to get organized, more shelves, more containers, more solutions. But sometimes the answer isn't in purchasing anything new. It's in looking at what we already have and seeing it differently. That's the beauty of repurposing. It's not just practical, it's creative, it's deeply personal. It allows us to breathe new life into things that might otherwise sit forgotten in a closet or the back of a drawer. A wine rack can hold rolled towels in the bathroom. A magazine holder can stand upright in the kitchen to store aluminum foil, plastic wrap, and parchment paper. An old ladder can become a charming vertical shelf for blankets, books, or even photos. Even those over-the-door shoe organizers? Try them in the pantry for snacks, in the laundry room for cleaning supplies, or in your craft corner for tools and thread. I'll never forget Tom, a retired woodworker in his 70s who found an old wooden picture frame while cleaning out the garage. It had no glass, no back, just the frame itself. But instead of tossing it, he added a small sheet of mesh to the back and turned it into a jewelry display for his wife. Her favorite earrings, brooches, and pins now hang beautifully on the wall, like artwork. And every time she walks past it, she smiles. That's what repurposing does. It turns the ordinary into the meaningful. It reminds us that nothing and no one is ever too old or too broken to be useful again, just in a new way. So before you go shopping for another storage bin or drawer insert, walk through your home, open the cabinets, peek into the attic. Ask yourself, is there something here that's waiting for a second life? Because sometimes what you need isn't out there in a store. It's already right in front of you, just waiting to be rediscovered. 8. Don't declutter alone. Make it a moment you share. Let's be honest, decluttering can bring up a lot of feelings. Nostalgia, guilt, sadness, even loneliness. Sorting through a lifetime of belongings is not just physical work, it's emotional work, and sometimes it's simply too heavy to carry by yourself. But here's a gentle truth. You don't have to do this alone. One of the most powerful things you can do is invite someone in. Maybe it's your daughter, your sister, a friend from church, someone you trust who knows your stories and will treat your memories with care. Someone who can laugh with you at old photos, gently challenge you when you're stuck, and remind you you are not your stuff. Lisa, a 72-year-old retiree from North Carolina, decided to do a 30-day decluttering challenge, but with a twist. She teamed up with her niece who lived in another state. Every day they texted each other a photo of what they let go of, a sweater, a kitchen gadget, an old stack of magazines. They didn't compete. They just cheered each other on. By the end of the month, Lisa had cleared out 3 closets, 2 bins, and something even bigger, the weight she didn't know she'd been carrying. She told me, it was less about what I got rid of and more about feeling supported. I wasn't alone in it. If no one's available in person, that's okay. There are online communities, gentle challenges, and even apps where people share their progress. You'd be surprised how encouraging it feels to see others doing the same work day by day, drawer by drawer. Because decluttering doesn't have to feel like punishment. It can be something joyful, something shared, a way of honoring the past together while making space for what's next. So think about someone you might invite into this journey, someone who knows where the real value lies, not in what you toss, but in what you choose to keep. And maybe, just maybe, the connection you build will become more precious than anything you clear away. 9. Store what serves you now, not someday. Have you ever caught yourself climbing on a step stool to reach a pot you use every day, or bending deep into a cabinet for that one pan you always cook with? If so, it might be time to shift the way you think about storage, not by size or category, but by how often you use something. This isn't just about being organized. It's about honoring your rhythm, your safety, your everyday ease. Here's a simple rule. The things you use most often should live at arm's reach. Your favorite coffee mug, the vitamins you take each morning, your go-to spatula or scissors. These items should be stored where you can grab them without strain. No reaching high, no bending low, just simple, clear access to the life you actually live. Then there are the things you use occasionally: holiday dishes, seasonal clothes, spare linens for guests. These can go a little higher, a little further back, still reachable, but not in your way. And finally, the rarely used items, keepsakes, old tax records, decorations, those can live in closets, basements, or underbed storage. Out of sight, out of stress. Carlos, a widower in his mid-60s, once told me, "I realized my kitchen was designed for a family I don't cook for anymore." So he made a shift. He moved the big serving platters up high and brought the everyday dishes down low. Suddenly, cooking felt easier, safer, more enjoyable. He said, "My kitchen finally fits my life." And that's the heart of it. Your home should reflect the life you live now, not the one you lived 30 years ago, not the one you feel guilty about letting go, but this beautiful present moment you're in, right now. So today, take a little walk through your kitchen, your closet, your bathroom. Ask yourself, am I designing this space for convenience or for nostalgia? Because making things easier for yourself isn't selfish. It's smart, it's caring. It's what you would do for someone you love, and it's time to do it for you. 10. More room, more life. You've made it this far, and that says something. It means you're not just looking for a cleaner closet. You're looking for peace, for space to breathe, for a home that feels like it matches the person you've become. Because here's the truth. Decluttering isn't about the stuff. It never was. It's about clarity. It's about lightness. It's about giving yourself permission to live forward instead of living around the past. We often think that letting go is a kind of loss, but what if it's actually an invitation? An invitation to step into the life that's waiting for you, the life with fewer tripping hazards, fewer just-in-case items, and more ease, more grace, more room for joy. And you don't have to do it all at once. Maybe you've started with a single drawer, maybe just a single thought. That's enough. That's progress. Because every item you release is space reclaimed. Every choice you make is a step closer to a home that reflects the woman you are today. Letting go isn't giving up. It's making space for reading nooks and long phone calls, for baking with grandkids, for rest, for art, for quiet mornings and soft evenings. You are not just clearing out. You are making room to live. So as you walk through your home this week, take it slowly, with love, with pride. You are not erasing your story. You're editing it, carefully, intentionally, so the best parts have space to shine. You've done something beautiful just by beginning. And if no one has told you lately, I'm proud of you. If this video brought you even just a little breath of clarity, a moment of calm, or the gentle push you needed to begin, then I hope you carry that with you today. Not the pressure to finish everything, but the freedom to start on your own terms, in your own time. And if you're here thinking, I'm not sure where to begin, that's okay too. Sometimes the first step is simply realizing you're ready for a change, ready for space, ready for more ease, more beauty, more peace. You are not alone in this. There are thousands of women just like you, smart, strong, and learning to live lighter. And that's what this space is for, right here. This channel, this little corner of the internet where you're always welcome. So if you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe and join us. We're building something kind here, a community of women who aren't done growing, reflecting, or becoming, not by a long shot. And if you know someone who needs this message today, send it to them. Share the peace. You never know who might be waiting for that nudge of encouragement. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one thing you've been holding on to and are finally ready to let go of? Or maybe, What's one space in your home that you're excited to reclaim? Let's talk. Let's connect. Let's keep making room for the life that's still unfolding, beautifully, one drawer, one moment, one memory at a time. Until next time, take care of yourself. You deserve a home that loves you back.